Barry, welcome back to Raith TV. How are you?
Yeah, it's good. Been a good week's training, so the sun's out again, so that's been pleasing.
That's it. Spring has sprung and everything looks a lot better when the sun's shining at Starts Park, especially after a great victory over our nearest and dearest rivals, Dunfermline. It must be really pleasing to look back on that performance on last Friday night.
Yeah, I think so, and I think the last two performances, we went away to Livingston, had a really good performance, and then the performance there against Dunfermline, where I thought we were really, really comfortable in the game. I thought tactically we got it right, and we just showed our running power first half against them, and I thought they really struggled with that.
It is another Friday night game that we're looking forward to tomorrow night at Firhill against Partick Thistle. Having two Fridays back to back, does it actually make it a little bit easier for your preparation because you're able to sort of keep that continuity of your schedule?
Well, no, because you'd probably rather go on Saturday to Saturday, but you've got to remember we've go Friday night to a Tuesday game.
Yeah. So
that, in effect, doesn't really, it knocks everything out the other way anyway. So we periodise our training, so we look well in advance in the days we're going to be training and what maximises the players' freshness and sharpness. So I don't think it's too different. We'll be in over the weekend again, so because we've got some important games coming.
Well, yeah, it is an important time. You know, the phrase business end of the season is coming up, and when you look at the game that we've got on Friday night against Partick Thistle, we've got a chance to really sort of cut down their lead on us in that fourth place. Is that what you're focused on, getting the victory, but also still have the intentions to try and catch that fourth spot?
Yeah, I think so. I think, of course, we want to get as high up as we can. It's a difficult game. We understand that. We know that. We've beat them here at home. The pitch is difficult, but it's a game that I think we can. If we perform the way that we have done over the last couple of games, we're not an easy team to play against. We've got a lot of players that can hurt you in different areas, but we also understand that Partick Thistle are a team who squad's been heavily invested in. We understand that they've got some good players, so a game that will be difficult, but a challenge that we're looking forward to.
Yeah, you talk about our squad there, and you've had a really tricky time since you've come in as a manager with some of the injuries that we've had. There's players that you'll maybe not get a chance to get a look at this season, but you have used a little bit of rotation over the last few weeks. We've seen Ewan Murray coming back in, Callum Fordyce coming back in. Is that now at this stage of the season with the games that we have, is that part of your plan to start really rotating, having players ready to step up when they need to?
I think so. I think it's horses for courses, they say. I think we've had some games where you need to maybe be a bit more resolute, a bit more size in your team, and other games you maybe want to try and play a bit more. So it's and plus the hard part for me is I want to play them all, because they give a lot for the club every day in training. I see them every day. Their demands are so the demands we put on them, they meet every day. They work so hard. And that's the hardest part for me, when you're having to leave boys that work so hard all week and you've got to leave them out. So you're right, if you want to go to get any type of result tomorrow, we need everybody, and that's staff included, that's fans, staff, myself, players, all of us that are back in Raith Rovers. We need all of us to get over the line, and as a club and as a collective, as a team, that's what we need to be at all times.
How do you do that? You know, you've been a player yourself. There'll been games where you felt you wanted to play, and then you've been left out on the bench. You've maybe not been too happy. I think it was Jose Mourinho once said the hardest thing in football is keeping everybody happy at the same time. So how do you manage to keep somebody who you know isn't maybe going to be playing for this week, next week, or the week after, but will be needed to be called upon at some point, and when they are called upon, needs that full performance?
Well, first and foremost, we tried to plan a week that we can maximise their training sessions. So we try to periodise it in a way that they get extra sessions rather than losing out of sessions if you haven't been a regular in. And also, I say to the players, my door is always open. Whatever happens, my door is always open. We're here to help you. We're here to be the best, whatever it is you need. And yeah, I hated it myself when I played, but the one thing I never did was, you can't, what would you say, you can't sulk. You've got to go and keep working hard, go and do your gym sessions, do exercise sessions, keep working. That's the best way to do it, and show the staff members, myself, that you are ready and you're willing. And what happens then is when you get your opportunity and you're fit and you're fresh and you go in and you perform, and there's a fair chance you'll stay in. So it's about keeping that mind focus of working as hard as you can.
Absolutely, and one guy who's really shown the hard work has been Finlay Pollock. You know, we've seen 3 man of the match performances and 4 goals since he's come into the squad, but he's also been rewarded with a call up to his national team under 21s levels, which is a huge accolade for anybody to be picked for that. We've managed to keep him here for now for the game against Partick Thistle, but we've talked a few weeks ago about your previous roles at Aberdeen and developing young players. It must be hugely rewarding for you to see that the work that you've done with Finlay has started to pay off, and not just in performances for Raith Rovers, but also to be recognised for that.
First and foremost, it's not me, it's the kid himself. It's down, if you want to be any type of football player or be a success in any walk of life, you have to put the miles in, you have to put the hard yards in. He's done that. We've given him some really basic information that I think a lot of people miss these days. We've given him a lot of basic information. You can't be overcomplicated in football or any other industry. If you go and watch the top coaches or players that do the basics so well, and we've just spoke to Finlay a lot about that. In the training sessions, we've tried to show him things to do. Like, for instance, as a striker, if you have your midfield player on the ball and there's no pressure on him, make a forward run. Mm-hmm. Just go. There's a fair chance he's going to find you. Basic, but listen, that's what the best do. And little wee things like that, little wee when to run, forward run, diagonal runs, all these type of things. And I also said to him when I first came in, a work rate is a non-negotiable. If you want to play in this team, you're going to have to run and you're going to have to press. And when you do that, he starts winning balls back. Other things happen. It's the same with Jamie Gullen, the same with Dylan Easton. Or if the same with the players in here in training, start winning the ball back, things start opening up for them. The fans get excited. Yeah. It's hard work, but if we want to be a success, or you want to be a success to play here, that's what needs to happen.
Well, one of the other guys who's definitely put in the yards and the miles over the years is Paul Hanlon. A great performance again from him at the back, but he was rewarded with a goal as well on Friday night. It must be great for your point of view. You've got up one end of the pitch, you've got a youngster like Finlay who's putting all these, learning his craft and his trade, but at the other end, you've got someone like Paul Hanlon who's just been Mr. Solid and Reliable all season.
Yeah, I think so. And it's getting that consistency is where it hasn't been. I think we've won a right few games since I've been here and we've blown teams away. And then you have the odd hiccup of a bad result. That's the bits I said to the players that if you're not having a game that is not going well, if you're not going to win it, don't lose it. Mm-hmm. Have that consistency, know when to slow the game down, speed it up. So lots of things, but yeah, Paul's he's a guy that wants to do well. He still wants to improve, I think, at his age. I think he never stopped learning. And a really, really good human being who, he's just got that way about him. He wants to do well. And I think you can see in his performances, when he's been aggressive, we've given him a bit of confidence in that. We're making him go into places that he maybe he's never done much before, but he takes on every bit of information well, and he's a good player to have here at the club. He's good for the younger players to see how it's done, and you need good professionals at your football club. They're the ones that you look up to when you're a young player. Absolutely.
It is the international break at the moment for the Premier League, and you've got the Scotland games going on, but for the fans who are maybe wanting to come along to watch us against Partick Thistle, what are we expecting to see? What challenge are we going to be getting from Partick, and what are we going to be doing to sort of counter that challenge?
Well, I think the first thing everybody's going to see is, and it's highlighted and it's all I'm hearing about, is the pitch. I think a lot of people have spoke about that. So you need to be clever. You need to be clever with the pitch. I think what do we expect to see? What we always see: hard work, endeavour, running power, and full commitment.
Yeah.
and if you bring that, and I say it every time, your talent can come on top.
And the club putting on buses, subsidised buses again for fans to go through. For anyone who's sitting at home who's maybe thinking it is on the telly, a trip through to Glasgow, how important is it? It is still on for the league. We're still chasing down that 4th place, and we need every bit of backing that we could possibly get. So what's your message to these guys that are sitting there swithering whether to come along to Firhill or not?
Well, what's better to do on a Friday night sitting at home? Nothing. Go and watch your football. You might get in trouble from the missus, but just go and grab one of your mates and jump in the car or jump in the bus and come over, because I'll tell you, it's a lot better than sitting in the house watching the telly.
Brilliant. Well, all the very best. Cheers.
Thank you.